Good day everyone, I am Brizo and I'll be discussing the 4 subtopics of Unit 7, Topic 3 entitled Millennials and Fillennials. The first subtopic of Topic 3 entitled Millennials and Fillennials, which is the Millennials, Ethical Challenges and Responses. So what is ethical challenges? Ethical challenges is a collection of resources and activities designed to help individuals and groups think about basic ethical concepts and considerations. Examples of ethical challenge, which are taking credit for the efforts of others, making a profit by selling a client a support product, and taking advantage of insider information for personal gain. Other behaviors considered ethical through the lens of a millennial include friending clients and customers, uploading personal photos at work, keeping copies of confidential documents, buying personal items on the company card, and tweeting or blogging negatively about an employer. So, these are the different generations, namely the silent generation, baby boomer generation, Generation X, Millennials, Millennials, Generation Y or Gen X, iGen or Gen Z, and Gen Alpha. If the birth starts in 1925 and births end in 1945, then it considers as the silent generation. If the birth starts in 1946 and births end in 1964, then it considers as baby boomer generation. If the birth starts in 1965 and births end in 1979, then it considers as Generation X. If the birth starts in 1975 and births end in 1985, then it considers as Millennials. If the birth starts in 1980 and births end in 1994, then it considers as Millennials Generation Y or Gen X. If the birth starts in 1995 and births end in 2012, then it considers as iGen or Gen Z. Lastly, if the birth starts in 2013 and births end in 2025, then it considers as Gen Alpha. So, when we try to identify ourselves based on this PowerPoint, most of us are iGen or Gen Z, right? Because most of us, especially second-year college students, are born in 2001. But there are others who were born in 1999 and 2000. But still, they are considered too as iGen or Gen Z. So, I will discuss the two different generations' responses for the exact issue, which are the baby boomers and millennials. So when both hear the issue number 1, which is same-sex marriage, baby boomers take an opposing view on this issue. They don't support this because for them, marriage is between a man and a woman. Supporting it will destroy the sanctity of marriage and a break of the tradition. On the other hand, millennials take an agreeable approach on this issue. They support it as though that everyone, regardless of gender, must have the right of marriage. Number 2 issue, which is premarital sex. When both hear this issue, baby boomers and millennials have engaged in premarital sex, but it is the millennials who are more accepting of it than baby boomers, according to a 2015 survey on sexual behaviors in America. In 1970s, 29% said nothing is wrong with it at all. It increased to 42% by 1980s, 49% by 2000s, and 58% between 2010 and 2012. Second subtopic is the positive and negative characteristics of millennials. There are 5 characteristics of millennials each, positive and negative. In positive, millennials considered as adventurous because millennials were more likely than prior generations to study abroad. Millennials appear to have a strong desire to travel the world and encounter new cultures, adventures, and people. Next is well-educated because millennials are more likely than preceding generations to have a college education. Many millennials have attended college-level humanities and management courses, so they may be better equipped to relate to others. Tech savvy, while some job seekers are less flexible to new technologies, millennials use technology to complete many of their daily chores. Next is fearless. They generally lack the fear that others face and are not afraid to tap into their adventurous side and try new things. Lastly, concern about global issue. When it comes to topics like the environment, human suffering, and international peace, millennials are more large picture thinkers. Then for negative, millennials considered as desire for a luxurious lifestyle. Many millennials aspire to be wealthy and famous and to live a luxurious lifestyle. Next is impatience. When millennials have a clear idea of what they want it now, if not, yesterday. Next is technological reliance. One of the most typical criticism leveled about the millennial age is that they are always connected. Consider this, millennials were the first generation to experience cable television, the internet, and cell phones. Next is lack of focus, because mostly millennials are now too connected in technology. Because of this, there are times that they forget to make their school works and also house chores. Lastly, acting overly entitled. This one has become nearly a cliche, but we still hear about it. The issue is that there is a link between self-motivation and entitlement, as well as the razor-thin boundary between confidence and arrogance. Millennials work extremely hard, and many of them are intrinsically motivated as a result of their desire for meaning. Third and last topics of Unit 7, Topic 3, which are the Filipino Millennials or Fillennials and Generation Gap. When we say Filipino Millennials, they are the Filipino equivalent of Millennials. They are referred to as the selfie generation and social media users. Increased usage of communications, media, and digital technology, as well as familiarity with them. Traditional media such as TV, movie, radio, and print are no longer reliable sources of information thanks to social media. It is important to highlight, however, that there are also positive attitudes. The upbringing of millennials is considered to be distinguished by a shift toward a more liberal view politics, economics, and morals. Millennials, in comparison to previous generations, have more voice in issues, are more interested in politics, and are not afraid to express their ideas. When we say generation gap, it refers to differences in actions, beliefs, interests, and opinions that exist between individuals from different generations. Example of a generation gap is the expertise of older baby boomers about computers against that of young individuals born after the internet had already exploded and taken off. Thank you for listening, and God bless.